Hi, everybody. How are you? Welcome today. We're going to go through and talk about and answer some questions on Supermom's Salesforce admin course. So I welcome you all here. My name is Diane Willock, and I am the customer success coach here for Supermoms in the US. And then I am also joined by Sheila, who is our training manager here at Supermoms in the US. And she will go over some more, and I'll have her introduce herself when she comes on as well. And she will go over a demonstration of what you're going to be learning in the admin course, answer some of your questions. And then we're also going to hear from one of our Supermoms that has participated in our class. So, and we'll do a big Q&A session at the end. So welcome to everybody, and hopefully everybody joining us can hear me okay. If there's some issue, please just put it in the chat and we'll be happy to check it out. But we're going to get started. So let me just make sure I can, should we still have some people coming in? So I'm just going to make sure I can share my screen here. And definitely let me know if for some reason you cannot see my screen. Let's see, where's my... Right.
You're good.
This is a hard part because I can never see myself when I'm talking when you're sharing your screen. So hopefully everybody can see this though, and welcome. So welcome to Supermoms. And again, we're going to talk a little bit about how to launch your Salesforce career and what we can do for you here at Supermoms and what we offer. And we'll talk about our administrator training course and what that's all about. And you'll be able to see live demonstration of it, as well as ask some questions on it. So why learn Salesforce? That is a big question, and everybody seems to be interested in Salesforce right now. Well, Salesforce actually is the fourth largest enterprise software company in the world. It has massive growth. Really is used by most of Fortune 500 companies, and is expected to grow. I think the job market for Salesforce jobs are expected to grow by about 4.2 million by 2026. So it continues to grow. There continues to be job opportunities in the Salesforce ecosystem, and there continues to be a skills gap of people that are properly trained in Salesforce, and they need people. Simply put, we need people that are trained in Salesforce. It's a great place, great ecosystem to go into. It offers a lot of flexibility and remote roles. So that's why a lot of people are interested in this area right now. So why do people use Salesforce? Well, Salesforce gives you a really good 360 view of your customers, and it allows you to personalize their experience. You get real-time analytics, and it's secure data on that platform. So there's a lot of components, obviously, to Salesforce, but it's really customizable to each individual user and organization. And that's why companies prefer to use Salesforce, and it's the #1 CRM platform out there. By 2026, I think I talked about this, 9.3 million jobs. I think that's the whole ecosystem that has been created over a certain amount of time. And then within the next 4 years, it's again, going to continue to grow. So what are the benefits of going into Salesforce and launching your Salesforce career? Well, if you're looking for a job that might allow you to spend more time with your family, allows you to earn more money in less time, and really have a better fulfilling career, Salesforce might be a great move for you. A lot of the jobs that are available are remote jobs, so no commuting to the office and spending that hard-earned money on your gas. I know that's something that everybody's concerned about right now. And it also allows that flexibility to be able to, multitask and juggle a lot of things and not juggle, too many things at one time, but it allows you to have that flexibility that you need that you may not be getting from your current situation or your current 9-to-5 job. Leave behind stress and unfulfillment, meaning people are happy in Salesforce roles. It's really, it's fulfilling for them. It's one of the whole Salesforce community and ecosystem, like we call it, or the Salesforce Ohana, is a very welcoming community. People enjoy their jobs, they enjoy their work. There's a lot of room for growth, And there is a lot of fulfillment in the different particular roles that you can go into. So when we say work flexibly with cloud computing, what we talk about is the jobs that are available. There's part-time jobs, there's full-time jobs, there's a lot of contract jobs that are available within Salesforce. You can be a hybrid worker and go into the office for a day or two and then work from home or work remotely. You can have a seasonal job depending on the organization. They might need help with their Salesforce system seasonally. Flexible hours, again, working on your own time, being able to have that luxury to set your own hours. And again, I think we've talked quite extensively that there are a lot of opportunity for remote work within the Salesforce ecosystem. So furthering your career and salary, this is just an example of the different role types within Salesforce that you can go into. Salesforce administrator and kind of what we're talking about today, training as a Salesforce admin. Entry-level roles as a Salesforce admin here in the US can start anywhere from about 95 to over 100,000 per year. That's normal and average. There is obviously different variations to that, but that's what you can expect. And as you add on your skill set and you maybe become an advanced administrator, you can move up and further demand more salary after that. If you're moving into a Salesforce consultancy role, again, you could see that your salary would be bumped up a little bit more. And that's just an indication of what an average salary in the US is for a Salesforce consultant. There's different areas that you could specialize in. So that might, again, add on to your annual income. And then just looking down the line, going into a business analyst role or a project manager role, marketing solutions or a Salesforce developer route for those of you that might be interested in getting more technical or learning coding, you might want to go into a developer route. And those are some of the average salaries that you can expect in that area as well. Oh, we're already at the demo time. I didn't realize that. So that's Sheila's part. And I think she's muted. I can't hear you, Sheila. You're laughing. I know. I didn't realize.
I was laughing. Like, yeah. Wow, that was fast.
That was fast. I didn't realize we were already at the demo time. It's kind of hard when you can't see yourself on the screen because I was trying to pace myself only because and trying to go as slow as possible because I do tend to be a fast talker, but I can't see myself. So it was kind of a weird feeling. But we want to show you a little bit about, what is a Salesforce admin and kind of what you would be learning in the administrator training course. And Sheila, also you can introduce yourself so everybody knows who you are.
Sure. Okay. And I've stolen your screen. Can you see mine now?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, great. So my name's Sheila Vastbinder, and I am located in St. Louis, Missouri. Diane and I are both Central Time, which is quite unusual because we're the only two people in the US. And so for us both to be in the same time zone is kind of different. But I oversee the training program. So I basically am your go-to person once you get into the program, walk you through from beginning to end, getting your mentor, helping you with your work experience, helping you troubleshoot, all of those kinds of things. I teach both this admin course and I teach the marketing cloud course. So we do have multiple courses, which I'm sure Diane will talk about a little bit as well. But today we're here about the admin course. So first of all, just to make sure everyone's clear, in Salesforce, to get the admin certification does not mean you're going to be a Salesforce admin. A lot of people come in not realizing that. Really, it just says to people that want to hire you that you understand the platform, but then your role will depend on your own interest, your own background, your whatever niche area you're wanting to specialize in. So when Darlene gets on, because Darlene is an alum, she can kind of tell you how she made that journey. But not everyone becomes an admin. Like you might become a project manager or a business analyst or a customer success manager. There are all kinds of roles. So don't think that just because this might be the path you take, that that's your ultimate destiny, because it may or may not be.
It's so relevant, Sheila, because I was just going to say we did a live today that we were answering that exact question. because that is a question that we get. Do I, if I'm taking this training, do I need to go into a sales admin role? And you do not. And it's exactly what Sheila said, is it really is based on your skill set, your experience, your background, and what you enjoy doing, and what you can transfer into that Salesforce career. So I'm glad you touched on that, because that is a question that we get as career coaches quite a bit. This is your foundation, obviously. Taking the admin course is a great foundation. You're learning and understanding Salesforce, intimately, so to speak. So it's a great building block to get into those other careers, but it doesn't mean that when you take this course, you have to become a Salesforce administrator.
No, it really doesn't. In fact, I can tell you a little bit of my story. My story is from nonprofit management background. I decided to go into Salesforce because I wanted to move into tech, but I wanted to still make some sort of social impact. And Salesforce is huge in making a difference in the world. And so that was very attractive to me. But it only took me a couple of months of study to realize I did not want to be an admin. It didn't take me long, but I did, learn from others that this was the basis that I needed, right? So that may be you too. You may come in from a completely different industry. Figure out that your skill set is different, and there's lots of roles in Salesforce, and so you may just take a completely different role. I never thought I'd be a training manager, but I love what I do. So just kind of a heads up. Okay, so what you're looking at is the Salesforce platform. This is called the Sales Cloud. It is the base platform. It's where Salesforce started. And it's what made them a #1 CRM in the world. So everything else, well, most of everything else is built on top of this platform. This is what's called the front end. So this is what people who are out in the business world, maybe your salespeople, your service agents, this is what they would be seeing. But as an admin, or as someone learning as an admin, you are working more on the back end than the front end. And so to get to the back end of the Salesforce platform, you go to this little cog up here, is what I'm going to call it. It's called setup. And you go into setup. I'm sorry, I have two screens, so that's why I'm looking over here. This is setup. This is the back end. This is where anyone who's an administrator or having to do configuration would be doing that. One of the benefits of Salesforce over many platforms in tech in particular is you don't have to know code to be in Salesforce, which is awesome, right? Because many of us don't want to learn code. It's called Click, Not Code, and it is the basis of all of the Salesforce platform. And so you have to know how to click. So as long as you can click a mouse, you can move into this space. So for us today, we're going to look at users. So users are the people, obviously, who use Salesforce. And so if I needed to set up a new user, I would go into users. This is a demo org, so I don't have a lot of users already in here. I have a few. You can see that I'm the admin, which means that I have basically a modify all rights, so I can change whatever I need to change in here. And then I have a few other users in here. But if I needed to make a new user, I would just click new user. I would set up their name. So we're just going to make up something here. I'm going to give her one of my email addresses just so I can take care of it on this other end. Notice the system makes its own username, nickname. Those can be changed, but the ones with the red line are the ones that are required. These are optional. So if I wanted to, and normally in a company, you would fill out a title. So let's say she's our HR manager. And our company name is going to be Supermoms, just for fun, Mrs. HR. But then you have to give her a role. So I decided she's going to be HR. Let's see if we've got an HR role already developed. Yeah, human resources. There we go. And I'd have to give her a license. I'm going to give her a Salesforce license, and I'd have to give her a profile. So these are basically all the different kinds of things you would learn as you're working with us. And these are the types, these are additional licenses that she might need if she was in marketing, or I'm not going to explain every single one of those, but you would have to know which licenses she needed. And then with Pia, I could put her address in here. So if HR is needing that information or someone else is needing to send her some mail, I would be able to change any of her settings that were needed to be done. I could determine who's going to be her approver. So like, let's say HR needs someone to approve her timesheet and they're doing timesheets through Salesforce. Then I could set up her manager here, and then that would be the person that would be marked as her approver. Okay. And then I would just hit save. She would get a password to know that she said it. And if you'll notice, I've used the username that is already used. In Salesforce, every username has to be unique across all of Salesforce around the world. So it gets kind of weird because you can make up any username you want, just as long this is what the person's going to be using to type into the system. And so it needs to be something she can remember, right? Or that she can record in one of her password savers, but it can't be something she uses anywhere else. So I used my email address as her username. The system automatically picked it up from email, but in fact, I can't use that. So I would have to give Pia, this does not have to be a real email address. It just has to look like an email address. So I could actually say Pia_Jackson 345@gmail.com. So as long as it's not a duplicate of another username she uses, then I can save it. And she now has a username. The system, because I set it to automatically send her a email to let her update her password, the system will shoot her an email, let her know she needs to update her password, and then she'll have her username and her password. So that's how easy it is. It's just click. Type in things, click. Now, is there no coding? Yeah, pretty much. I mean, as you get more advanced, you can get into formulas and things called flows and some other more technical things. But even with those, they're pretty much drag and drop and clicks. So you can move into Salesforce and not have one bit of coding under your belt and be perfectly okay. So there we go. Simple demo, but that kind of shows you what you at least start off learning. It obviously gets more detailed than that.
I didn't know if there's any questions right now. We will try to do a Q&A at the end, so you can ask some more questions of Sheila at the end. That might be a good idea. Just think of those questions, or you can add them in the chat, whatever you like. But if there is a simple question now, you can definitely go ahead and ask that. Either unmute yourself or just put it in the chat is fine. And let's see. And we do have Darlene here, and probably it might be a good idea. I'm trying to look at the slides. Sheila, did you hand them back to me?
I think she's next. Yeah.
Yes, you did hand them back to me, right? The slides. Okay,
I did.
So good. Yeah, so we would love to welcome one of our super moms, Darlene. I'll let her introduce herself, but she has gone through our program and she's a great resource to answer any of your questions about her. She'll talk about her experience and answer any questions that you might have about that. So Darlene, I will hand it over to you. Thank you for joining us and good to see you again.
Oh, sure thing. Thank you. You guys can hear?
Yes,
Yep.
we can hear great.
Yeah, okay. I'm prone to muting myself by accident.
Happens. I know, happens to all of us, right? Or we forget
Yeah.
that we're muted. Right?
It's like post-pandemic life or whatever.
Yes.
Well, hi everybody. My name's Darlene. I'm part of the 2021 September cohort for Supermoms on the USA side. I live in Orlando, and the company I work for is actually on the West Coast. So you get really used to different time zones when working remotely and with the tech space as well. I come from an HR background. So we had different computer systems that we worked with, but in different capacities. If you've had corporate jobs or small jobs with, one location business, there's enough space in Salesforce for you to find a job where the culture fits with what you're looking for within employment. Previously, I had worked full-time in a corporate office that I commuted to every day. having time off was difficult. I have kids, and trying to manage childcare with all of those factors of being in office was a major reason why I sought out Salesforce. And now I work scheduling my own hours, during their office hours. I go onto Zoom for like a meeting or two, and then I work on my projects and tickets in the back end that Sheila was talking about earlier. And then we test it on the front end of what the user would see to make sure that they can see what we changed in the system for them. My main job is putting new users into Salesforce and then offboarding them or taking them out of the system or deactivating them so that they can't come in and wreak some havoc. One of the fun things about being a Salesforce admin is trying to explain what an admin does to other people. One of my daughters asked, "Mom, what do you do at the computer?" And I get to tell them, well, all around the world, no matter where in the world they live, I can make them access their work computer, or I can lock them out just as fast. And they seem to like that answer. And it's true that this is the foundation of any other aspect of Salesforce that you might want to get into. If you like designing things, like as an architect, you have to know the foundation first, like as an admin. Even as we interview for a developer that writes all that code, they go through 2 screenings, and the first one is the admin, because you have to understand the admin part and then the developer part too. So no matter where in the system that you want to work at, and no matter what kind of business culture that you want for yourself, there is a good fit for you. And I have never been happier with this decision.
That's great. Thank you for sharing that. And I don't know if you want to say anything about just kind of specific to, the program, the Supermoms program, and maybe what you felt like was really important aspect of our program that helped, prepare you for that role.
Sure. So I like to research things before I do them. Sometimes I get analysis paralysis, right? But one of the things that I was looking for was, I have a really demanding family life, and I have career goals. And so I wanted to find a program that was flexible with those things, but also held me accountable, because there are plenty of self-study programs that have no deadlines or anything, and people get lost in the sauce and they drop out, and they forget. Like, you could go a week and then not remember what you learned a week ago because you weren't in it. And Supermoms is really great on holding you accountable, of keeping things at a good pace where you're busy enough, but not overwhelmed. You have the one-on-one mentor to help you with questions that you have, like if you're stuck in a certain exercise. You have Sheila as well, that's always available to help you as well, to point you in the right direction, so that you learn how to like Google things and what kind of questions to ask as you're creating and building. The internship was another essential piece that Supermoms offers, in that the hands-on experience is what really gets you the interviews. If you're able to speak to those things, especially like on your LinkedIn profile, posting about things you've learned and built, and all of those things, those carry into your interviews that get you the job, just as well, even more so heavily than a certification does. A certification is one test, but the hands-on knowledge, you're going to be doing hands-on stuff way more longer than a test. So I found that very, very useful with the Supermoms program.
That is really impactful. Thank you for that. And I don't know, we might have some questions for you right now, I figured, just so that if you can't stay for a long time, because she is working, if you can't tell. So does anybody have any questions for Darlene, specifically that they would like to ask her? And we'll see if we can answer some of those questions right now. And you can feel free to unmute yourself. We have a smaller group, or you can put it in the chat, whatever you feel comfortable with. and we'll try to answer those. And if not, you can also put some questions in later, and we can make sure to get back to you. But if you have anything right now, please do feel free to unmute yourself or just put something in the chat.
Well, while you guys are thinking of questions, I'm gonna brag on Darlene a little bit. Because she did not brag on herself nearly enough. She came through this, she came through this group like a stormtrooper, and she had an amazing cohort, but she was the first in her cohort to get her certification, if I'm not mistaken. She was the first to get a job, and she still coaches the others on what it takes to move into a job role quickly. So I've been very proud of her. So I want to make sure she knows.
Thank you.
Well done. Do you guys have any questions for her? Because she has to get.
Oh, okay.
Looks like we have one. How did the program fit into your work schedule? So yes, that's important. You know, everybody's coming from a different standpoint, whether they have either a full-time job or a part-time job. So maybe you can just talk a little bit about fitting the, our Supermoms program into your work life.
Yeah, that's a totally valid question, and I faced the same thing myself. There are in-person training sessions. That's like a class setting where you can ask questions, but then usually the time slotted with your mentor was like after work hours because they're working too. And my main schoolwork or work with Supermoms I did on weekends or after work or like before my kids woke up. If you do like an hour or two, then that usually helps block it into the 10 hours a week or 10 or 15 hours.
Mhm.
So it is pretty busy for full-time work and that, but it's a very small amount of time when you consider the salary and life work balance bump that you will get as a result of that. And it was, I didn't have much social life for that time because I had kids and I had work and I had that. But after that, now it's like, now I don't know what to do with myself because now I just have my work.
Yeah, that was very helpful. That is true. Because we talk about setting aside that time and scheduling that time. You probably really good about scheduling that time in your day. So you're holding yourself accountable too. It's important to do that and to realize, I like what you said about that. It's short term, right? For long-term goals, and it goes by really quickly and really fast.
It's much faster than college.
Right, exactly.
Which I was doing at the same time too, I will tell you.
Right, multitasking to the extreme you were doing, Darlene, for sure. I know, that's crazy. So she's a testament for sure that you can get it done, and you will be able to do if you stick to your schedule. So, and it's important to you to do that. You will get it done. Look at your end goal, right? And what you want to achieve. We did have someone ask a question, which I love this question because I'm very excited for you to answer because it's great. But how long was it before you gained a Salesforce position after training?
So I think isn't it 80 hours for the internship, Sheila?
It's 48 hours.
Oh, 48 hours. Okay, so 48 clocked hours of work. And depending on your project, if you're putting in a lot of time each week, then it goes really quickly. But I think, I had to wrap up my last 10 hours of the internship.
Hold on, your mic's doing something.
Your mic
Out of static.
It's really bad feedback we're getting, on your microphone. Just all of a sudden. Yeah. That was weird. It happened all of a sudden, kind of.
Yeah, it did. It was kind of out of nowhere.
Oh, still bad.
You can unplug it and see what.
Yeah.
Do you have a mic on your system?
She probably does. Just something took over her microphone.
Yeah, that's right.
Were you seeing the little bit of a flashing with their screen too? So yeah, something all of a sudden just took over and
still
hijacked
doing?
your.
No,
No,
you're
it's
fine
better
now.
now. Yeah,
Oh.
it's better now.
Yeah,
Okay.
gremlins.
So you got to the last 10 hours and that's
Of
kind
the
of where it happened.
internship, right? Mhm.
Yeah. So the last 10 hours, I wrapped up because in January I had started looking and started posting on LinkedIn stuff I've learned and things like that. And then but like February and March, I was applying to places with the information I had. And then my start date was the beginning of April. So really quick, but
Really
like
quick.
while you're doing the internship, you need to like facilitate that you're available with LinkedIn and stuff, which you guys help with, just so that people know of your skill set and that you're looking for work.
Yeah,
So-
Darlene was definitely an example of she moved into a role really quickly. So
Before she actually finished the course. I'm not
Before
sure
she
that's
actually
true.
finished it,
Yeah.
right? Before she actually finished her experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
So her
Which is
work
not
experience.
normal. I will say that's why I was applauding her a while ago.
Yeah.
Because
But it can happen. She's a great
but it
example
can
of what
happen,
can happen. Yep. Mhm.
most people get a position. I've been with Supermoms a year and a half, and out of all of my cohorts, most people, our program's a year long, 6 months of really solid, and then you have access for another 6 months. Most people have a role before their year is up, before their year of training is up. So in fact, I would say, when I say most, I mean like 98%.
Yeah, right.
Really,
I'd
yes.
say it's typical from the people that I work with, because I work on the end as they come out of training and going into roles. It's very typical to within 3 months of that ending that they've gotten into something, and they're at least getting interviews and getting noticed and getting recognized out there. Do you have, did you have recruiters reach out to you once you placed the Supermoms course on your resume? So did you have a lot of, recognition, recruiters reach out to you, Darlene? Or I know it happened once you got your job. You were talking about that to me.
Yeah, that was funny.
Once you got your job, everybody was reaching out to you. Yeah.
I did, in that I was networking on LinkedIn and putting the hands-on experience as well as what the training from Supermoms entailed. It matches up with their searches. So if they're working on a communities portal for the job description, and you have on there that you worked communities portal, then they can match it up that way. Yeah. And then having that network was really valuable in that way, because you could talk about what you knew, because the Salesforce is so vast. There in my department, we have like 6 people and they all do different aspects of Salesforce. So the more you talk about your training, like what you did in the program, will help them find you easier. Yeah.
Good. Thank you. If we don't have any more questions, I know Darlene probably has to go. I really appreciate you coming on. If you have any more questions, you can also just put that in the chat section or reach out to me and ask the questions, and we'll make sure that Darlene can answer those. We'll get back to her and see if she can answer those questions. But it's been great having you here. I don't know everybody who's joined here, but it's really awesome to hear from somebody who's gone through it and what has come out of it, which is a great career that she loves. She always talks about that, how happy she is where she's at, and she loves doing what she's doing. So she's a great testament to Supermoms, but also what's the possibilities, within Salesforce and the ecosystem. So thank you so much. We
It's
really
so good to
appreciate
see
it.
you.
Yes.
It's good to see you too.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
We go from seeing them, I see them once or twice a week,
Yeah,
to,
right.
Seeing them
Getting to really know them.
Yeah,
Right.
It's so hard.
It is hard. It's like your babies growing up.
It is very much like.
And taking flight.
Diane, to answer your question, she has not worked on any more search. She's probably studying for her app builder right now. That typically is like the next one a lot of people get. She might go for Sales Cloud, but App Builder is
Right.
probably the next one. So, but now, right now, she just has the one certification under her belt.
Yep, that's for sure. And I think we have a little bit more of the slide deck to share, because we'll talk a little bit about us in particular in our course, just in case you're not familiar with everything that we do provide in the course. So I'll share my screen again, just to make sure that.
And my dogs went crazy just a minute ago. Should I shut my door? Did you guys hear them, or is it all well?
I heard them. Typical, right? Right when you're doing something, the dogs decide to chime in. But yeah, you could shut your door. Everybody can see that, can see our screen again, my screen again, hopefully.
Yeah.
Good. So
but one of the benefits of remote work is people get used to you having pets and kids around.
Yes.
So
and during
it's okay if they wander through.
And also during training too, because we talk about that. I remember Nikki was talking about that with one of our super moms, you know, having to basically hold her toddler in her lap while she was training and going through the live sessions. We all know that life happens. So that's what's great about it, because you're in a community of people that are similar to you, and you can't just stop what you're doing when you're training, so you can multitask. Everybody's good at multitasking. So that's one of the best parts about our program is we've seen it, probably everything. I'm sure Sheila's seen everything on the Zoom calls, and it's not a big deal to us, and we work around your schedule. So just kind of talking about super moms and just the value that we bring to our classes and how we're different is, number one, we talked about it before, Darlene mentioned it, but we do have live training. So the live training being conducted by Sheila is great because, you know, you have that interaction with your peers and with Sheila, and you're able to ask questions. You're able to see, you know, just like she did with the demonstration, see things live and have that full, excuse me, visual experience. So that does help. They are recorded because, again, we want to make it flexible for you. So if something's going on at the time of that live session, you can go back and view the recording and then just continue your studies. So we have one-on-one mentoring. You'll be matched up with a mentor that will be working with you one-on-one and to answer your questions and to help you through those assignments that we give you. And they're great. Your mentor is a great resource for you. There's someone that has been in the Salesforce ecosystem for at least 2 years. That's our requirement if you're going to be a mentor. So they can relate to what you're going through and what you're learning and tell you how it applies in the real world, and, you know, give you advice on careers and anything that you're learning. So they're there to help you. Yes, go ahead. Oh, did you have a question? I'm sorry, Sheila. I thought I saw you like, I'm going to add something in. So, but go ahead and add something in, Sheila, if you want. Yeah. So that's great about that. And I'll go back to the career coaching kind of happens throughout your training, but I'll go back to that as well, because that happens at the end of your training too. Halfway through your training course, you are given a real life work experience. And I like to preface it by saying, or distinguish it by saying, it's not a simulated work experience. You're actually have real life work that you're doing. You're working for one of our partners, our nonprofit partners, and you're doing work as a Salesforce admin, and you might have a specific project that you are assigned. So it can look different to each individual that's going through training. And that helps to get you that experience. We try to give you 48 hours of experience, and it's spread out over your last 2 months of training. Some people continue to have that work experience a little bit longer if they need more hands-on experience, but this is something that, again, you know, you take your learning, you're able to apply it with your work experience, and you're able to use that in your resume and your interviews just to show your work and what you've done. So it really does give you an advantage too, because you do have experience. So you're not going into a new role without, you know, having that, having been used Salesforce in the real world. So that does help. We have study groups to help you out with your exam prep. And we give you a focus on Force, which is Salesforce's exam preparation, you know, and study guide. And so you can practice on, you know, practice some exams, do practice exams. You can work with your peers that are going through the training with you and form your own study group. You can work with your mentor to study. So there's a lot of different ways that you can help to study and prepare for the exam. And then the employability support and the coaching also comes at the end of your course. So I'm a career coach. We have another one that Maria, that is in the UK, and we work with all the trainees that come through, and we do exactly what Darlene was saying, is we help you with your LinkedIn profile or your resume or your CV. We make sure that you are harnessing those transferable skills that you have from past experiences or whatever, whatever job that you maybe have had in the past, or just what are your strengths. We take a look at your strengths and how those can be applied to a new Salesforce role. So we do a lot of that. We do a lot of one-on-one coaching with you as well. And then we also have a recruitment side too that can work with you and look to match you up with any positions that might be available to our supermoms. So again, the course content, this is just taking a little bit of what you go through course content. I don't know if you want to say anything to this, Sheila, just because it's specific to the course. But if not,
I can get to my
I was like, but if not, you don't have to.
Yeah, the course, the key part of the curriculum is during the first probably 12 to 14 weeks. It varies. We're actually in the middle of revamping it right now. That's where the real hands-on learning comes, and it's what you have to actually get your homework approved by your mentor before we'll put you in work experience, because you are going into real projects with real clients, and so we want to make sure you are ready for it, both for your sake and for theirs. And so the first part of the course is all about the platform and learning how to build in it, how to configure things, how to set it up. And so we break it down according to categories. It pretty well aligns with the exam. And then that's the first 12 to 14 weeks. And then once you get into the course itself and into your internship part, that's when we do our really more heavy duty career prep and exam prep. And so the course really is like a 12 to 15 hours a week, maybe as many as 16 hours a week of a commitment. It's a heavy course. I'm not going to lie to you. It's pretty intense, but we get lots of applause from the community when people get on jobs because they know what they're doing. They haven't just passed an exam. They really do know what they're doing. And so I hope that helps.
Yes, definitely. And kind of the structure, am I muted? No, you can hear me. The structure is, again, 6 months, and we say 6 months because it's really 5 months of those live training sessions. But at the end of that, we're doing exam prep, we're doing the employability, you might be still doing your work experience. So we like to make sure that we're forward in saying it's about 6 months to get through, about 16 hours study a week. If you can plan that into your week, even if you're working full time, like Darlene was working and getting a degree at the same time, and she was able to fit it in because, again, you're thinking of your long-term goals, and this really is, although it seems there's a lot of information out there and it might seem intimidating at first to look at the 6-month structure, it goes by quickly. And if your goal is to get into a new Salesforce career, this is the path to take. And it really is not that long of a time when you think about all the material you have to go through and the experience that you get and the career support that you get. We do have alumni sessions, coaching sessions, as well as alumni events that occur throughout. So you're getting some extra material and some extra skill sets as you're going through the course. And again, you're benefiting from our peer support. We have such a wonderful community of alumni that are willing to help you and support you in your journey and help you then as you come out of training. We have an alumni Slack channel that you'll be a part of basically for life. And alumni get on there all the time and ask questions if somebody can help them with something that they're going through at work. And then they also will provide job opportunities for individuals going through training and good referrals for our trainers. So it's very important to have that instant networking when you join Supermoms. And that's great because we have over 700 alums that we have trained up to this point. So that's all part of your network as soon as you join. And then this is just a little bit more about our admin course in particular as far as what the cost of the course is. We have a course starting in September. So in the US, it's going to start on September 15th. And then if anybody's joining us from outside of the US, it starts on September 6th. Is that correct, Sheila? Starts a week earlier. I believe it's September 6th. So that is the cost of our course. We do offer a payment plan that you can divide that up into 3 payments, or you can pay in full. And once you register, and the first thing to do is apply. And then once you sign a training agreement, you will be you'll be taken to the payment page. And once you process the payment, you are in the class, you're registered, and you'll be able to have a meeting with Sheila one-on-one before you start class. And she can talk about, your specific goals, your situation, make sure she understands where you're coming from. It's a great time to meet the trainer before you start. And then literally, we tell you what you could do to maybe prepare before the class. And then you start, and everything goes from there, so to speak. So we definitely, the outcome of the course is we want you to feel empowered with the confidence, skills, and knowledge to launch your career successfully. Every time I talk to individuals about our courses, I tell them that the idea is not just to get you certified, get that stamp of approval from Salesforce. We really want you to have a good outcome. We want you to be employed. We want to get you into a job that you want to get into. So we work really hard to give you those career supports, to give you that holistic view of Salesforce, a career, and what you can achieve. So we provide, I think, so much more of a service than just training you and getting you certified. We want to make you a well-rounded individual and ready to achieve your goals and ready to get into that new career. So a good way to learn about if this might be a good fit for you is to take our 5-day challenge to learn more. I don't know if Sheila, do you have the link for signing up?
Let me go find it and I'll drop it in
chat. That would be great. We'll put the link in our chat and you can sign up for a 5-day challenge. It'll give you a little bit of a introduction to what you can expect from a Salesforce career. And it gives you kind of some tidbits on real life as a Salesforce admin and some challenges for you to do on a day-to-day basis. So you'll get a email once a day and it'll be a different topic every day. So that's a great way to kind of test the waters and see if it's something that you would like and you would enjoy. And Q&A. So now I just want to open it up to anybody that might have a question, and I'll stop sharing. And I'm also going to put in the chat my specific link to my schedule. So if you want to schedule a time for us to talk one-on-one, if you have more specific questions, you can go ahead and do that. I'd be happy to talk to you. But if anybody has any other questions, I want to open it up and make sure that I answer those questions now while you're on. I think we have about 10 minutes left of our session here, so do feel free to unmute yourself or put the question in the chat. For myself or for Sheila is fine too. Anybody have any specific questions that I can answer? If not, I can definitely let you go, or you can make sure to schedule a time to meet with me. I think Sheila is going to get the 5-day challenge link so that you can sign up for that.
I am sorry.
No, that's okay. I just want to make sure.
Several, so I'm like, okay, let's make sure you get the right one.
I know. I just want to make sure that, we get that before you guys jump off. So definitely. I know I recognize some of your names up here, and some of you joining me, I probably talked to some of you already. So that's great. I hope this kind of helped to give you a better view, getting that demonstration of what you'd be doing behind the scenes as an admin. And again, it's important to note, and Darlene brought this up, and I also did a live session today on the question about, we talked about this a little bit about going into a Salesforce administrator role. And that doesn't mean that you have to go right into an admin role if you're training as a Salesforce admin. There's a lot of different roles you can go into. But bringing that up, that, the different roles that you can go into, but depending on where you are, the organization, you might be doing so many different roles as an admin. So it looks different for everybody. And sometimes what Darlene said is she's only handling a certain part of Salesforce for her organization, and her other members in her team are handling other portions. If you're a solo admin and you're the only one working for that organization on Salesforce, you could be doing a lot of the implementation, a lot of the development. You could be doing a lot of different areas as a solo admin. So it's important to note that too. Oh, great. That's a great, Crane. Studying for your PMP cert, but interested in Salesforce, that'd be a great skill to add on. Of course, that would be really great. Go right into, project management with Salesforce. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I actually have my CAPM, just so you know, which is the kind of the pre-PMP, very hard certification. But I have to say my Salesforce certification was harder, which is really nuts. I was really surprised. But I would love to connect with you on LinkedIn and learn more about your journey with that. So that's fun.
Yeah. That'd be great.
Darlene is on LinkedIn, as you know now. If you didn't catch her name, it's Darlene Killen, Killen. And I'm also on LinkedIn. Diane's on LinkedIn if you want to reach out.
Right. Definitely reach out to us and connect with us so that you can be a part of everything that we are providing. Like we had like I said, a live session this morning, which was great, and answered some questions live. And we do that like once a week. So there might be something you'd be interested in. So if you're connected with me on LinkedIn, you'll definitely see all the information and news that we have coming out from Supermoms and about Salesforce every week. All right, perfect. Well, if there's nothing else, thank you so much. And it was a pleasure having you all here. Find us on LinkedIn, connect with us, reach out to me, schedule a time to talk, and I'd love to chat more. So thanks so much. Have a good rest of the day.
Yeah, have a beautiful day.